everyone! Today's video is going to be about general admission, which is GA, and camping tips. I've been to a lot of BTS concerts, KCON, TRB in LA, Wings Anaheim, the one in Seoul, the final in Seoul, and I've camped out for about pretty much every BTS concert in California. Actually, this video was a request from somebody on Facebook. They asked me if I could do a video and give some tips about camping, like the best place to stand for GA, prepping for camping, how do you get close to the barricade, things like that. Let's get this video started. Number one, prepping for GA. I know a lot of people don't like to camp. I know a lot of people love camping, like myself. Really just personal preference. If you have GA floor and if you really want a good spot, I suggest camping. It sucks. It's kind of like a really long, just a really long night and really long day, but to me it's worth it. I guess a few things I could say to prep for camping. You know, bringing the appropriate things. So you don't want to just show up camping with your regular clothes on, you know, and just that. You want to bring maybe like a comfortable blanket to sit on, maybe even one of those like chairs, like beach chairs, so you can sit comfortably because you're gonna be there for a long time. I'm getting flashbacks. I'm like kind of traumatized from camping, but yeah, if you decide to camp starting the night before, you're definitely gonna be there for a long time. If you come in the morning, it's not nearly as bad. But yeah, if you're gonna camp overnight, which most people do, something comfortable to sleep on or sit on, water, you know, something to keep yourself busy. So you can bring your Nintendo Switch, or you can bring your computer and watch, you know, like the Memories DVDs or the Summer Package DVDs, anything like that. Like, just keep yourself busy. Honestly, the night goes by pretty fast if you just fall asleep, so I would suggest just sleeping. That's honestly the best way to get through it, because otherwise you're gonna just stay up all night, and most people sleep. I think a few people stay up, but most of them are sleeping. That's for the overnight. For the rest of the day, definitely like have water if it's hot, have extra clothes if it's cold. You really just want to look at the weather and see what it's going to be like during the whole day, because there's a good chance you're probably going to be in that line for a while until they move you to the official line. And that brings me kind of to my next point. Usually there's an unofficial and official line. When people start camping the night before, that line is usually the unofficial line. It's started by fans, and usually the venue staff approves it. They kind of are like, yeah, it's cool if you camp there, like as long as it's not on the property, they usually don't mind. That's why you kind of see on their website a lot of the times it says no camping allowed, because you can't actually camp on the like venue property. So for example, Staples Center, you can't camp or sit or whatever on Staples property after a certain time. So they always suggest going to a certain area to line up, and then they'll come get you in the morning. A good way to find out where you're supposed to line up for the unofficial line the day before the concert is to kind of just look for, like, let's say Staples Center staff, and ask them like, hey, you know, I'm planning on camping out. I know I can't be on the property. Where's a good spot I can camp where you guys can come the next morning and pick us up? I want to know. I don't want to like break any rules. I just want to have a good spot to camp. Letting them know, hey, I'm not trying to cause trouble. That's honestly the best way to go about it. Asking them where to line up. That's usually what's worked for me. At that point, when they come get you in the morning, they move you pretty slowly, like in groups, to the official line, which is on Staples Center property. Yeah, so that's kind of like the general like gist for like prepping for GA and prepping for like at least prepping for camping in order to get a good spot. I see this question a lot, and it kind of involves like, what time do I camp out? I really want to be at the barricade, like how do I get there, like blah blah blah, right? It depends on the concert. There have been times where I've only had to really camp out at like maybe 11 o'clock p.m. the night before, or 12 a.m. and generally there's only like a few, like maybe 20-30 people in the beginning that camp that early. Everyone comes around like maybe 3 or 4 a.m. or like 8 a.m. When it comes to getting a good spot in line or just in general in the pit, lining up early helps, camping out helps. That's not to say that if you don't camp you can't get a good spot. That's the beauty of a huge pit area, because there's so much room, right? Like you can be at the front, you can be at the side of the extended stage, you can be at the main stage. Because the area of pit is so big, just because you're not the first 10 or 20 or even the first 100 people in line camping doesn't mean you won't get a good spot. I've seen and I've heard from people saying, I came at 9 a.m. and I was like 200 or 300 in line, but I was at the extended stage in the front. Like, it's very possible. It's not like you won't get a spot. And I guess that kind of goes into my next point of like, where's the best place to stand in pit? I really love being at the center or in the front of extended stage. I've always just had a good time there. That's what I prefer. I know a lot of people prefer it. I actually don't like being direct center at extended stage. So even if I'm the first one that camped out and I get in there first, I usually like to go a little to the side, because the center is where everyone just crowds. Like everyone gets crazy and is pushing and shoving you against the barricade, and it's usually where BTS is like directly in the center, or whichever group you're gonna go watch. So I kind of like to avoid all that. I've always done that. I've never been direct center. I'm sure it's great, but it gets a little more relaxed towards the sides, because not everyone's like shoving you and pushing around. Everyone's a little more chill on the sides. Center is like a death trap. So I would really only recommend going there if you're like really willing to like get shoved. Also, it depends, because you know, for KCON LA 2016 Staples Center, the stages that they had were really tall. I'm 5'7", so I'm on the taller side of most fans, and I remember just like the center had a camera, and I noticed this recently for BTS, because they're more popular. They record most of their concerts, and there's usually like a camera in the center of the extended stage. So I don't really recommend being there because of the camera, and especially if you're short, you won't be able to, it'll just be like right here in your face, and it'll kind of cover like maybe half of BTS's body. Going on to like the other sides of the stage, I actually don't really have personal experience being on the sides of the extended stage, like on like the extended part of the walkway pretty much. Being on that side of the walkway, I've never been there. I may try it out for this tour and see how it is. I've heard that they kind of do a lot of fan service there, which is cool. If you're looking for fan service, that'd probably be a good spot to go to, because during certain songs like cyphers or when they're just kind of dancing around for fun and not really doing choreography, they walk around a lot and they'll like look at you guys on the walkway and stuff. So if you really want fan service, I think that's a good spot to go to. And then also the main center stage, they do a lot of solos there. I'm taking this information from Wings Tour last year, where a lot of the solos that they performed were on the main stage. And then also like really big choreographies, like I think they did Dope or like Not Today on the main stage in the back. So that's also a really good spot to be. The downside is that like when they are on extended stage, you're gonna be kind of like looking back that way and trying to like, you're kind of gonna be staring at their backs, which I mean, some people don't like it, some people like it, you know what I'm saying? It's up to your personal preference. No matter where you are in the pit, it's still a good time. So my next point, which is short people. When it comes to being short, I'm not saying that you won't have a good time in pit, but it can be very hard for some people. I've seen like short people get shoved around, especially if you're not strong and you're not like willing to stand your ground or be kind of aggressive and tell people, hey, stop pushing me. You might have a hard time in pit, at least in the center. But if you want to do it, I'm not saying don't do it. Like if you really want to be in pit and you want to try it out, go for it. But just know that it's kind of a rough area, like it's pretty intense. So yeah, that's another thing you have to kind of take into consideration if you're short. There are a lot of tall people in pit, there are a lot of phones up, a lot of signs up, so just keep that in mind. I either recommend being towards the sides and avoiding the middle area, or being in the back. That's my advice for short people. I have friends that are short and do fine in pit. It's still hard to see, but they like being in pit, so just make sure that you drink enough water the day of the concert. You cannot bring water inside the venue, so any water that you have outside you cannot bring inside. Any food that you have outside, I believe you cannot bring inside. If you have to go to the bathroom, you're not going to the bathroom. If you're in pit and you have to go pee, you can go pee, but you're not guaranteed your spot back. So I say if you have to pee, go pee before everyone starts lining up at the doors to go inside the venue. For that, you just gotta hold it. Like, honestly, I just hold it. Like, just prepare. Like, just think about things you gotta do beforehand. If you gotta take a number 2, go take a number 2. Like, before you get into pit, just go finish everything. We usually wake up around 8. They'll move the unofficial line to the official line around like 9 or 10. After that, you're free to do whatever you want. Just come back before they start moving the line towards the door, which is a sign that they're gonna start letting people in soon. So in that time that you have free, you can go put your stuff away, you can get ready, fix your face, because you're probably gonna look nasty after camping out. I know I've looked nasty after camping out. I'll include a video clip right here, hopefully, if I have it. If I don't have it, I'm sorry. During that time, just do everything you gotta do. If you're camping, it's best to also notify the people around you. Hey, hi, I'm Medina, nice to meet you. Who's your bias? Oh, I love Jin and J-Hope. Oh, cool. Because you're gonna be friends with that person for the next like 24 hours. And also, it's good to know the people behind you and in front of you. Be aware of who's around you and what they look like, because people will try to cut. Also let people know, hey, I'm gonna be gone for 2 hours. Just so you know, like, I'm here, but I'm just gonna go shower and stuff, and usually everyone's cool with it. As for bringing friends, if you are camping out alone and you decided to camp because, hey, I have 3 friends coming in the morning, is that cool? Usually it honestly depends on the person that's behind you. They're the ones that are gonna be the people that you want to ask, right? And that's just something to kind of keep in mind. If you are camping with a group, make sure that everyone's just there. It just makes it easier. You don't have to think about asking anybody, and everyone's there at the same time. Makes it super simple and easy. No one's gonna fight, no one's gonna be annoyed or angry. Everything's chill. Besides that, I think that covers pretty much most of what camping out and pit is like. I've done it a few times, like I said, and I enjoy it. I like camping because I think being in the front is worth, not sleeping, and if I do sleeping on the concrete, I think it's worth it. To me, at least for BTS, it's worth it. I probably wouldn't do it for other groups. And yeah, just take care of yourselves if you are camping. Watch out for each other. If you camp overnight, do not walk anywhere alone. I shouldn't really have to say that, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Do not go anywhere alone. Anywhere. I don't care where you're going, even if it's 2 steps away from the line. Just don't go anywhere alone. There's creepy people everywhere. You don't know who's around that area. Even if it's a safe area, you don't know who's there. You don't know what they're gonna do. You just don't know. So it's better to be safe than sorry. Always tell somebody, bring a friend, whatever. Just be safe. And yeah, that's all I can really say about pit and camping. I hope this helps. I know it's a little more disorganized. It's not really like tip number 1, 2, 3, 4. I just kind of wanted to talk in general about camping and pit area. And yeah, hope you guys liked the video. Please subscribe if you liked it. Like it if you like it. And yeah, comment down below, and I hope y'all have a good day. Peace.